There we go. By the way, that picture is a Belgian Spillette. It's a commercial handgun or a revolver from the 1870s. But that's not what this is about. Today is August 27th, and it's been a while since I've done this, but this is a look at my bizarre collection of ordnance. A look at my man cave. I'm going to start here again. This is my 3040 Craig Jorgensen, complete with bayonet and frog, that comes from the Spanish-American War period. That's actually a family heirloom, so it's going to be it's never going to be sold. I got it from my father, who got it from his father, who got it from his father. This is a homemade target pistol that I got from a friend who got from the guy who made it. It has a hair trigger, shoots a 36 caliber ball, and it's a pretty interesting little thing. In here we have two pinfires. This is a Lafano pinfire 44 that's been converted to centerfire. It does shoot a 44, but it's a little shorter than a 44 special. And this is another Lafano. It's missing its mainspring, but it's just an interesting type. Now moving on, up here, that's a model 1917 Enfield used in World War I. I have a great uncle who, no, actually a great uncle who served in World War I, and he had one just like that. So I got one. Well, actually, I got a sporterized one, and got the various parts from Numerich Arms and put together a one exactly like he had back then. It's for you, Uncle Ben. This one is a K31. K31 was a issued infantry rifle of the Swiss military. I have other Swiss rifles as well. Now on to my French collection. This is a, what's it called? An R35, which is a carbine cut down from a Labelle made for World War I. And it has an extremely loud report when it shoots. The next one is a Moss 36. That was the bolt action secondary rifle for the French in World War II, but it ended up being the only rifle they had in World War II because they hadn't yet issued the Moss 44. That's a Moss 49/56, I think it's called, yeah, which is a adapted Moss 44. They hid it from the Nazis all during World War II. These are my 22s. What's interesting is this one on the bottom here, that's a Waddy. It's an Austrian Parlor rifle, and it shoots a 22 Parlor, which is actually a 22 B that shoots a BB powered by primer power. There's no powder in it at all. Don't try it with a 22 short, that will blow it up. Now my Lazy Susan. Let's see, what do we have here? This in front is a Turkish Mauser made in Ankara. This is a German commission rifle. This is a Swiss model, a Swedish model model 96, 1896. It's a Mauser made in 1896. I have the blank firing device on it, and this is a oh gosh, this is a carbine version of this. What's it called? An M38. This is made by Husqvarna. Here we have a 9130 Mosin Nagant, a standard Tula, 1943 as I recall. And here we have a Schmidt-Rubin. This fires the exact same round as the K31 up there. This is a model 1911. Here we have a this is a AR-15 I built out of, well, it's out of a kit, sort of. It's bits and bobs I picked up. This, what is this? Oh, this is a VZ24 Czech Mauser. Oh, and this is a Remington, it's a pump action Remington rifle, which is kind of weird. Now, let's go to the next series. That's a VZ38, I think it's called. It's a 380 that was made by the Bruna factory after, well, it started before, but after the conquest by the Nazis, and was issued mainly to the Eastern Front. Just something that they did. This one is a 380 version of the HSC Mauser. It's made under contract in Spain. And this happens to be a airweight Taurus Model 85 that has a bobbed hammer on it that I had made. This is a Calico in 22. Awesomely fun gun. Now, these three here, these are French. This is a S and an A model, model 1935, which is it was their issue sidearm up till, well, right after World War II. It shoots the 32 French long, which is ballistically equivalent to the 30 Peterson. Look it up. This is a Mob. That was the thing that took over after these two. This one's actually in, I think it's in 32 Auto. And this one is a licensed built, actually Beretta built the factory in Cairo. That's a Hell one. That's the issue Egyptian Army pistol of, well, up through the 1950s. VZ52, or CZ52, excuse me, pistol, which is interesting in that it has a roller delayed system, unlike any other pistol that's ever been made. This is a Romanian copy of the Tokarev. This is a unknown brand 38 Smith & Wesson top break, quote, Saturday Night Special, end quote. Type 14 Nambu, it works. And this is a Luger. That's in 30 Luger. That's a commercial one from between the wars. Now, up here, we have a Spanish Mauser. That's in 7mm Mauser. This, and this are all Nambus. This one is a Model 99. This is a Model 99 Last Ditch that has the wooden butt plate on it. This one is a Model 38, though it's an interesting Model 38 in that this is not a standard one. This one is actually made by Carcano, I think. It was one of the Italian imports. This is a K98k Mauser. This is a Model 1895 Winchester. It's in 3040 Craig, same as the Craig Jorgensen. That was what Theodore Roosevelt called his big medicine when he had it in a large caliber when he went safari in Africa. Okay, we have a VZ24 carbine here, which is a very sweet carbine. We have a carbine made by a cut-down M95 Mannlicher from the Austro-Hungarian Empire from World War I. This is a, what is this? I forget. Oh gosh, what is this? It's a Spanish Mauser carbine. So this is in 7mm by 57. This is another French rifle. That's a Lebel. Excuse me, that's a Berthier. And it's in awful shape. Don't let me go there. This is a Sauer und Schul 32. This is a 1907 Dreisa, a 1914 Mauser, Walther PPK, and a Mauser HSC. The rifles on this section here I call the rifles of the Cold War. This and this are Egyptian. This is a Rashid and this is a Hakim. This is in 7.62 by 39, and this is an 8mm Mauser. This is a licensed-built copy of the Swedish AG-42 Ljungman, and the Rashid is a engineered sort of copy of the SKS. This is a Chinese, I think it's a Type 54, which is their version of an SKS. And down here we have a VZ52, which is in 7.62 by 45, a proprietary Swiss cartridge, Czech cartridge, before the communists decided to insist that they go to 7.62 by 39. On the bottom here, we have a Spanish Setme. That's on a U.S.-made receiver so that it meets import requirements. This Lazy Susan contains air rifles and black powder. This is a Hawken. I don't know what this is or this. They're actually, this is called a hunting rifle. This is what you'd issue to a felon who's no longer allowed to own a weapon who wants to go deer hunting. It works. It's an inline cap and ball. And this one is an actual blunderbuss. I think it's fun. Up here, we have a, what is it called? A Vitelli Carcano. The reason it's called a Vitelli Carcano is it's a Vitelli, and they were originally issued, let me show you this, with the Vitelli Magazine. This is a Vitelli Magazine, but then they were upgraded, if you can call it that, to use the Carcano feed system, so that they would be interchangeable with the Mannlicher Carcanos that the Italians were using. This is a little Derringer, and I think it's in 357 Magnum. And this is a 38 Special that was owned by a Oregon sheriff. I have a story to tell on that. Now, speaking of the Vitelli Magazine, here's a weapon that has it. This is an 1870 Beaumont that has the Vitelli Magazine. It was upgraded with that many years later. Now, the Vitelli was used by many people at that time as an upgrade for from single shot to multi-caliber. Multi-shot. That holds 4 rounds in the magazine in this. This is in 41 Beaumont. Now, this one is a C96 Mauser with holster and stock. This is a 22, I think it's called a Franklin. It doesn't matter. This is a single action Army in 32-20. This one is a French service revolver from 1892, I do believe, that shoots 8mm, quote, label, end quote. That's what it says on the package. I've got 2 boxes behind me. This is a, what was it called? A Nagant, the Russian one that was, it was actually preferred by the NKVD. Now, all of these are black powder. Well, excuse me, not these ones, but all of these are black powder. It's a thing I've gotten into lately. Remington, gosh, excuse me, I can never remember. I don't know why I have this problem, but I can never remember the name of this thing. It's called a, what's it called? Rogers and Spencer. This was not used in the Civil War. It was supposed to be used in the Civil War, but they were only issued as soon as the Civil War had ended, and therefore they were put in storage. And a fellow named Bannerman bought up the storage and started selling them off to the public. So the ones you see, though they're probably the best built black powder in 44 that was ever made, they are they're just government surplus. This one happens to be an Italian copy. All of these are Italian copies. This is a 1847 Walker. And this is a Colt, a Dragoon. I think it's a second model. This one is a fantasy gun. That's a 44 Colt Navy. They never made such a thing, but I think it's Pieta made it. This is a Pieta made 1851 Navy, which I got because it came with this, which is the Howell conversion cylinder to shoot 38 Special. Now over here we have a copy of a dance revolver, which was Texan from the Civil War. We have a Spiller and Burr, which is also, that's Confederate. These are Confederate. And this one is a Lamott, which is a 9-shot 44 with a 20 gauge shotgun barrel on it. This is an 1862 Police, which is the original Colt concealed carry. Now these are weird. This and this are American. This is a Warner Infallible, and this is a Smith & Wesson in 35 Smith & Wesson, which is actually really 32. And this is a 1922 FN. This one happens to have Nazi Weimar marks on it. Here we have a Flintlock pistol, and this is a shaved, cut-off cap and ball revolver that, well, it works. Okay, up here we have a single-shot 12-gauge, a 410, and this is a Winchester model 1897. This was called, in its other configuration, a trench broom. This is a Thompson Center Contender, of which I have a whole bunch of barrels. That's a 1917 Smith & Wesson with, it's got Pockmeyer grips on it, but that's the in 45 auto. And this is in 22 Magnum. That's a little Derringer. Now, my latest, well, we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, here we have, this is a model 1907 Rothsteyr, an 8mm Rothsteyr. This and this are both 1912 Steyr Hans. These were the standard issue pistol of the Austro-Hungarian Empire in World War I. They're in 9x23 Steyr, which is a little more oomph than a 9x19 Luger. This is also a 9x23, but a slightly different design. That's in Bergman Bayard, or 9mm Largo in Spanish. This is an Astra 400. And this is my latest. A Brown Bess Flintlock with socket bayonet. Just cuts. Oh, and over here we have, let's see, this is a model 1917 Savage, and in here, come on, we have a 1907 Savage. This is a copy of Bat Masterson's Tenderfoot's Turn, which is the book he wrote for Savage as a contract book for a penny dreadful he wanted. 10 shots quick, they used to say. And this is a new Army and Navy Colt in 41 Colt. That happened to belong to my great-grandfather, and sitting on an envelope that contains the Colt factory letter on it. And that is my collection these days. Well, other than a few that are in the garage, I mean, excuse me, in the closet for repelling borders. I've got a shotgun, a Mossberg, I got a Mini 14, and a few other pistols. But